this review is going to be over these two Shangxiao Aurora 2x2. Now, the look of these cubes, well, first of all, they came from the Cubable.us, which is a highly recommended store to buy from. And the Cubable has really good shipping and all that, but the look of these cubes, they did not come like this. Now, this came solid black, solid white, and the other one came in solid black, which is fine. But I switched out the corner cap, and I'll explain how I did it later on in the review. But the box, sort of the standard Mario box. But, it's just right here if you want to pause it if you want to, go ahead. But it just talks about, the mechanism and the patterns and all that, and like how the cube became the way it is right now. But the puzzle is called the Shangxiao Cube Aurora 2x2, and I'll explain what later on in the review of my opinion on the name of it. So, overall, this particular one, the black body, white capped one, I have not really touched that one. And it's it's stickered with half, standard Shangxiao stickers and half full-body stuff from Cubicle. I'm in the process of restickering it, but this particular one, I cleaned it out last night. And, well, not completely 100% cleaned it out, but cleaned it out some, so it still has some lube in it, but not much. But the current lube that's in it, and the current state of it, makes this puzzle turn really good. There's several things that I do not like about this puzzle. First of all, is that corner cutting on this. If you can see right here, not very good corner cutting. Just barely anything. No reverse corner cutting at all. A second bad thing about it is that, if you can see the screw, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but in there, the screw has all this white gunk stuff over it. And that's because the screw head is rubbing against the plastic of these corner pieces. And that I don't like that much, but yeah. And also, I tried tensioning this perfectly, but it's just that some of these screw heads, better in particular this green one, if you can see, and there has a bunch of plastic dust in it, and then it's just apparently blue. Well, these two one have the screw head filled with plastic dust in it, but the turning of this is really fast. It's like really fast, almost fast and smooth as an Oolong version 2, and some of the other Mario cubes, and even as smooth as like the Shangxiao Wind. And if you can hear when I'm turning it, it's very quiet compared to like the Wit 2, which is a bit quiet. But and then this older Shangxiao cube, this is the older model of the Shangxiao 2x2 that I modded. If you can tell, it's a bit loud. And then like Diane, Diane is a bit quiet too, but this one is a lot quieter than a lot of those other cubes. The mechanism, I'll go over it now and comparing it to the older model Shengshao 2x2 and comparing it to some of the others. So, the name of the puzzle is called the Aurora 2x2. That name, I don't really like that name because it really is a bit misleading, because the Diane 2x2 is called the Diane Zancy 2x2 because the corners, basically the internal the internal part of this 2x2, the Diane 2x2 is built up on from a mini Diane 2x2. Yeah. But this one is built up not from a Shengshao or the Linglong or any of those other Shengshao 3x3s, but it's its own newer, unique mechanism. And as you can see from the mechanism, see this and this put rings in the edge of the way it turns. And if you roll an X cube or a Weilong, or not a Weilong, but a Weisu or Osu or Shengshao 6x6 or any of the Shengshao big cube, you know the mechanism. Yeah. And then the corners have these caps that are like this. And what I did was I switched caps, as I said earlier in the beginning of the video. And then there's also this. The corner stem base thing can be detached, but it's a bit tricky to do, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah. And then the edge right here, it has the edge and the corner base have more of a traditional Rubik's blocking mechanism style versus like the Aurora or like the Linglong or some of these other cubes, which has more of a modern day cube mechanism in it. Yeah. Comparing it to the older Shengshao 2x2, the older Shengshao 2x2, if you can see, has 1, 2, 3 screws, while this corner section is bandaged to the core and stuff like that to help prevent the middle layer misalignment. But this is actually Ghost Hand 2x2, but it's exactly the same as the original Shengshao 2x2. So, comparing the mechanism of this, here's the edges. Yeah, the edges, Ghost Hand edge, or the original Shengshao edge, and then the newer edge here, and then the corners, bases and stuff like this. Yeah, it's like this. You got this piece, which is corner stem, and the corner cap goes over, hooks into like this, and stuff like that. And you have to pull it out, unlock it, pull it out, stuff like that. And in this 2x2, if you can see right there, around there, there's a bandaged corner section. That helps prevent the internal bandaging lockup where these layers get out of alignment. Yeah. But with this one, there's no edges that are bandaged to the center. What keeps the middle layer in alignment are these tabs that hook up underneath the center the corners like so, and the corners slide up, lock against those, and turn like that. This mechanism has not been done before. I know it's done a little bit before, but it was only 3D printing, testing, and stuff like that. None of the other companies has made a mass-produced 2x2 with this mechanism, other than Shengshao. And I have to say, this mechanism is really good, but there's some downside as a lack of corner cutting and some other stuff. And if you can see right here, it's like really tricky to get it in place. Got it in. And as for popping on this, it's really good at keeping the pieces in together and no pops whatsoever. Lockups do occur frequently. Not that often, but they do occur enough to be noticeable, and that's due to the lack of corner cutting. And I noticed that a few times when I was doing like the Y-perm, like on some of these, when I do the last F move or some of these last two moves, I get lockups to the point where it's like, it screws me up on timing and stuff like that, where it just locks, it just pushes, and then I could have gotten a bit of faster time than that if it didn't lock up. So, the overall rating I'm giving this cube is a 6 out of 10. Just because of that low, it's not really that super low, but low enough that it's not really that much better than a Wit 2, Dian, Fengxi, or any of those other better cubes out there. Because lockups will interfere with your solve, and also the lack of corner cutting will also interfere with your turning and all that. Because lack of corner cutting, without it actually corner cutting really good, like the Fengxi does. Like, if you can see right there, that line right there, it can cut past it a little bit. And so it's really good corner cutting and all that. And also with the Dian too. Corner cut, really good. Yeah. But with the lack of corner cutting and lockups will render your solve a little bit slower. And although that this is really fast and smooth, it can be uncontrollable for some people to the point where they make it lock up a lot more than what it normally should be. So yeah, I'm gonna do a quick solve on this. Just to show you what it actually performs like. .707. What's that? I have to agree, is a decent time for me. for this cube alone, I've been getting times like around 9 minutes. Not 9 minutes, but 9 seconds. And with that, that's like not much off from what I normally get from the Fang Xi, which is my main. And with that said, it's just that this is not the best cube for the top-notch speed cubers, for the fast speed cubers who average sub 4, but this would be good for people who are starting off, learning a new getting a new 2x2 to learn on and solve from and all that, because most stores would sell this at like $4, while some other stores sell it for $8, $10. And it also comes with a solution booklet, which is right here. And the funny thing about this is that the mechanism picture that they show right there is actually of the older 2x2. Yeah. Not the newer one. But this solution guide booklet that comes with this is really easy to understand. It tells you to solve one layer and then shows you the soon algorithm to orient the corners, and then shows you this APERM to solve the last two corners. So it's really easy to understand solution booklet. So I highly recommend getting this cube only if you're like wanting to buy a new cube just for a cheap price, and that you don't want to have to deal with getting like paying like $15, $13 for the Wit 2, Dian, Moyu, Lingpo, Fang Xi, and all that. But this is also a good 2x2 as like a warm-up 2x2. And also, since it locks up some, it also helps with accuracy turning and improving your accuracy on turning. Yeah.